Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam.
Hello friends, this is Professor Neelam Panchal from Gujarat University and I welcome you all in this session on control as a process. Friends, in the dynamic environment of the modern organizations where uncertainty, complexity and rapid changes are constant, the ability to ensure that the plans are executed effectively is crucial. Now, this is where the managerial function of the control comes into play. Control is not merely an act of supervision or enforcement, but a structured and a strategic process that ensures organizational activities are aligned with predetermined objectives. It serves as a feedback mechanism that helps managers monitor performance, identify the deviations, and initiate corrective actions. Without control, even the most well-conceived plans can fail due to the poor implementation, inefficiencies or unforeseen obstacles. As a process, control involves a continuous cycle of setting standards, measuring actual performance, comparing it with the expected outcomes and making necessary adjustments. Let me explain you the objectives of the session. The objectives of the sessions are to define and explain the concept of the control in management and its relevance to the organizational effectiveness, to explain the traditional techniques of control, to describe the 4 main steps of the control process, and to make sure that the process is understood that will take you to the corrective actions. Next is to identify the key limitations and challenges of the control process and propose the ways to address them. Let me start with an introduction of the control as a system and then as a process. So friends, in the realm of the management, control is not an act of restriction but a critical process that ensures the organization remained aligned with the strategic objectives. It is a process of verifying whether everything occurs in accordance with the plans adopted, instructions issued and principles established. So, in a sense, the control is a dynamic and a forward-looking process that aims to measure and correct performance to ensure the achievement of the organizational goals. It acts as a bridge between the planning and execution, serving as both guiding and corrective mechanism. So, effective control ensures not only the operational efficiency but also strategic alignment and long-term sustainability. Let us look into the traditional and modern techniques of the managerial control. So, managerial control encompasses various methods developed over time to ensure the organizational efficiency and the goal achievement. Traditional techniques of the control are classical methods that have been extensively used across the decades. So, one such method is a budgetary control, which involves comparing the actual performance with the budgeted figures to monitor the financial discipline and the resource utilization. This includes different types of budgets such as sales, production and a cash budget. Another fundamental technique is the analysis of the financial statements including balance sheet, profit and loss accounts and cash flow statements. So, tools like the ratio analysis, trend analysis and a common size statement, it helps the assess the financial health and operational efficiency of an organization. Standard costing is also a widely used control technique where predetermined costs are compared with the actual cost to identify the variances and take the corrective measures for the cost control. Audits, both internal and external, play a crucial role in ensuring the compliance and maintaining credibility. Internal audits are conducted by in-house teams for routine checks, whereas external audits are carried out by independent agencies. So, break-even analysis is another effective tool that helps the determination of the minimum activity level required to cover all the cost, thus avoiding the losses. And the statistical data analysis employs statistical tools such as regression analysis, mean and standard deviation to evaluate the performance, particularly useful in quality control and forecasting. On the other hand, modern techniques of the control have evolved to address the dynamic and strategic needs of the contemporary organizations. These focus more on the alignment with the strategic goals, quality assurance and continuous improvement. The Balance Scorecard, it is also a comprehensive tool that evaluates organizational performance through 4 perspectives, that is financial, customer, internal processes and learning and growth. So, it facilitates the alignment of the daily operations with the long-term strategic objectives. Benchmarking allows organizations to compare the processes and outcomes with the industry best practices to identify the performance gaps and set improvement goals. Another vital method is total quality management, which promotes a culture of continuous improvement with an emphasis on the customer satisfaction, employee participation and production and the process excellence. Another method is a MBO, that is called a management by objectives. So, it enhances the managerial control by setting the clear measurable goals for the employees and regularly reviewing the process, thereby fostering the accountability and the motivation. Six Sigma is a data-driven approach aimed at reducing defects and enhancing quality, targeting near-perfect outcomes with a tolerance of only 3-4 defects per million opportunities. So, the adoption of the ERP, that is Enterprise Resource Planning Systems, it has revolutionized control by integrating all the business functions into a unified system, enabling real-time data access and better decision making. And lastly, the use of KPIs, that is key performance indicators. It provides quantifiable metrics to assess the critical areas of the performance such as sales growth, employee turnover and delivery reliability, thereby ensuring focused and strategic control. Let us try to understand what are the levels of managerial control. So, managerial control functions across different levels in an organization, each with distinct roles, scopes and objectives to ensure the alignment of the activities with organizational goals. The first level is a strategic control, which is handled by the top level management, including the executives such as CEOs, directors and board members. Now, these level focuses on the long-term planning, vision alignment and overall strategic direction of the organization. Strategic control ensures that the organization is effectively pursuing its mission and adapting to changes in the external environment. Tools like environmental scanning, SWOT analysis, strategic audits and the balance scorecard, they are commonly used at this level to evaluate whether the strategic initiatives are yielding desired results and to make the necessary adjustments in response to market trends or competitive dynamics. The second level is a tactical or a managerial control managed by middle level managers such as departmental heads, division managers and regional leaders. Now, these level translates the broad strategies of the top management into specific departmental or functional plans and oversees their implementation. So, the tactical control focus on the medium term objectives, resource allocation and efficiency within the units or departments. It aims to monitor the departmental performance, ensure the coordination among various functions and maintain the alignment with the organizational strategies. Tools like budgetary control, financial statement analysis, standard costing, and management by objectives that are frequently applied to assess the progress and guide managerial actions at this level. The third level is the operational level, which is carried out by the lower level management and supervisors who oversee the frontline employees and routine activities. This level of control is concerned with the short-term execution of the task, adherence to the standard, and efficiency in daily operations. Operational control ensures that the specific jobs and the procedures are being performed accurately, timely, and cost effectively. It involves close supervision, quality checks, and real-time decision making using tools such as key performance indicators, statistical quality control, time and motion studies, and enterprise resource planning systems. Operational control plays a critical role in maintaining consistency, minimizing errors, and ensuring productivity at the execution level. So, in essence, we can say that while the strategic control focuses on doing the right things in the long term, tactical control ensures that departments are doing the things right in the medium term, and operational control ensures the tasks are carried out efficiently in the short term. All the three levels are interdependent and essential for the holistic and effective functioning of any organization. Let us now try to understand the importance of the control process. So, the control process is a foundational pillar of the effective management and organizational success. It ensures that the actual performance aligns with the planned objectives and that the resources are utilized efficiently and responsibly. Far from being a mere monitoring tool, the control process is a strategic mechanism that reinforces structure, discipline, and direction across all the levels of an organization. It plays a vital role in transforming the plans into reality and in maintaining the operational stability in a constantly changing environment. Let us try to look into one by one. So, ensures the achievement of the organizational goals is the first point. So, one of the significant contribution of the control process is that it ensures the successful execution of the plans and the achievement of the organizational goals. After planning and organizing are completed, control acts as a follow-through mechanism to ensure that the organization stays on the right track. By comparing the actual performance against the predefined standard, it becomes possible to detect the variances and make timely adjustments. Now, these continuous monitoring and corrective action create a closed loop system that creates and that keeps the departments and the individuals focused on the outcomes that support the overall mission and a vision of the organization. Secondly, it enhances operational efficiency. Through the process of early detection and correction of the deviations, control contributes directly to improving the operational efficiency. For example, if a production process begins to generate the excessive waste or delays, control measures will highlight this issue before it escalates, allowing for the intervention. So, by maintaining the optimal use of the time, money, manpower, and material, control ensures that the organization functions smoothly and cost effectively. Furthermore, it minimizes the resources wastage and processes redundancies, promoting lean and agile operations. Next is facilitates coordination among the departments. So, modern organizations operate in a complex environment with multiple interdependent departments and the units. So, the control process acts as a coordinating mechanism by ensuring that the various activities are harmonized and do not operate in isolation. For example, the timely delivery of the raw materials must be coordinated with the production schedule, which in turn must align with the marketing and sales targets. Control facilitates this synchronization by aligning departmental performance with the organizational timelines and the goals, thereby reducing the conflict and increasing the synergy across the functions. Next is promotes accountability and transparency. So, the implementation of the robust control process fosters a culture of the accountability within the organization. By clearly defining the standards and measuring the performance against them, employees become more conscious of their responsibilities and are more likely to deliver the quality outcomes. Performance appraisals, audits, and regular reporting systems encourage the individuals and teams to meet the expectations, thereby increasing transparency and trust. So, the corrective actions are based on the objective data and performance indicators, and the decisions became fair, data driven, and less prone to bias or favoritism. Next is aids in the risk management and problem prevention. So, in today's uncertain business environment, identifying potential threats before they escalate is a vital. The control process plays a key role in the risk management by providing early warnings of the inefficiencies, policy violations, compliance issues, or market fluctuations. For example, regular financial audits can uncover the discrepancies that could indicate the fraud or accounting errors. In this way, the control not only safeguards the organization assets but also ensures the legal and ethical compliance. So, the presence of a well-designed control system reassures stakeholders that the organization is being managed responsibly. Next is provide feedback for the informed decision making. So, effective decision making requires accurate and a timely feedback which is made possible through the control process. The performance data and the analysis generated from the control mechanism, it helps the managers to assess what is working and what is not. These feedback is essential not just for the operational corrections but also for the strategic adaptations. For example, poor sales performance in the region, when identified through the control reports, it can lead to revisiting marketing strategies or readjusting pricing models. And in this way, the control process ensures that the decisions are grounded in reality and supported by data rather than assumptions. Next is ensures adaptability in a changing environment. The business landscape is continuously evolving due to the technological advancement, shifting consumer preferences, economic changes, and a global competition. The control process helps the organization remain adaptive and resilient in such environment. By continuously assessing the performance and comparing it to the dynamic benchmark, control enables organizations to make necessary adjustments in the policies, operations, or strategy. It transforms uncertainty into manageable insight, making the organization more agile and competitive. Next is safeguards the implementation of the strategy. A well-crafted strategy, it can fail if not implemented effectively. Control serves as the link between the strategy formulation and the execution. It translates the strategic goals into measurable standards and ensures that every action taken at the operational level is in service of broader objectives. Without control, strategic plans might remain theoretical ideals with no practical impact. So, in this sense, control is not just a corrective tool, but a strategic enabler that drives the progress and alignment at every level of the organization. Now, let us look into types of control based on timing. Friends, in the management, the timing of the control implementation play a crucial role in determining its effectiveness. So, the control can be classified into three types based upon the timing, and when it is applied in relation to an activity or an operation, it includes the feed forward control, concurrent control, and a feedback control. Now, each serves a distinct purpose and it is essential for maintaining the alignment between the organizational plans and the outcomes. So, let us understand what is feedback and the feed forward control, known as preventive control. So, feed forward control is the most proactive form of the control and it occurs before an activity is initiated. Its primary aim is to anticipate problems and take the preventive measures to ensure that the organizational goals are not derailed by the foreseeable issues, and these type of control focuses on the inputs, whether they are resources, human capabilities or procedural frameworks, before they are transformed into outputs. For feed-forward control to be effective, it requires in-depth forecasting, planning and a risk assessment. For example, conducting thorough pre-employment testing helps an organization ensure that only qualified and culturally compatible candidates are hired, reducing potential future performance issues. Similarly, pre-launch quality checks in manufacturing ensure that defects are identified before the products reach the market. While feed-forward control does not guarantee perfect results, it significantly ensures the preparedness and reduces the likelihood of the costly errors or the failures during the implementation. Concurrent control, that is a real-time control. So, concurrent control takes place during the execution of an activity and it is sometimes referred to as the real-time control. Now, these type of control is particularly valuable in the fast-paced and a dynamic environment where the conditions can change rapidly and immediate responses are necessary to maintain the desired performance levels. Concurrent control involves constant monitoring and supervision of the ongoing operations to detect and correct the problems as they occur. For example, a production floor supervisor may observe assembly line workers to ensure the procedures are followed correctly and any issues such as a machine malfunction or a safety violation, it can be addressed on the spot. So, in the digital realm, network monitoring software can instantly flag security breaches or system failures, prompting swift action. The advantage of the concurrent control is that it minimizes the damage caused by the errors by interventions before they escalate. So, thereby reducing the waste, improving the quality and enhancing the customer satisfaction. Next is a feedback control, that is called a post-action control. So, feedback control also known as a post-action control and it is applied after a task or activity has been completed. Now, this approach involves analyzing the results and using the outcome to improve the future performance, and it is retrospective in nature and plays a critical role in the organizational learning and strategic refinement. Feedback control does not influence the current performance directly as it occurs after the fact, but it is vital for identifying the trends, errors and opportunities for the improvement. Common tools of the feedback control include customer satisfaction, surveys, performance evaluations, sales reports and financial audits. For example, a company may review quarterly sales data to evaluate the effectiveness of its marketing campaign and use those insights to adjust the future strategies. While feedback control cannot prevent the immediate issues, it helps the organization learn from the experience, make informed decisions and adapt to the changing market conditions. It is especially important in the long-term strategic management where the ability to evaluate the past decision is essential for sustainable success. So, now after looking into all the fundamentals, let me summarize the session. Friends, we have seen that control as a process is a core managerial function that ensures the organizational efficiency, strategic alignment and a continual improvement. It is a systematic sequence involving the setting up of the performance standards, measuring the actual outcomes, comparing them against the benchmarks and initiating corrective actions as required. The control process is an essential function of the management that ensures the alignment of the actual performance with the planned objectives. It serves not merely as a monitoring tool but as a dynamic and continuous cycle that helps the organization achieve efficiency, accountability and adaptability. By systematically setting the standards, measuring actual performance, comparing it with the expectation and initiating corrective action, control acts as both a guiding mechanism and safety net in the organizational operations. Importantly, the effectiveness of the control process, it depends upon the timing, the approach, whether the proactive or real time or retrospective. Okay. So, each type contributes uniquely to minimizing the errors, optimizing the performance and facilitating the organizational learning. However, while control strengthens the planning and execution, it is not without the limitations. Factors such as employee resistance, high implementation cost, time lags and a risk of rigidity or the manipulation, it must be carefully managed. Ultimately, control must be applied with the balance firm enough to ensure the discipline and the direction, yet flexible enough to allow the innovation and the growth. A well designed control system empowers managers to make the informed decisions, respond to the challenges effectively, and steer the organization towards the sustainable success in the complex and the ever changing environment. I hope you are clear with all the fundamentals of the control as a process, and I hope you like the session. Thank you.